Hello everyone. Today I am looking at Psychonauts 2. Oh my goodness, what a pleasant surprise. A lot of games when it's been like almost a decade since their last release and they come back to create a sequel, usually the writing is different or very, bizarre or strange, but I have to say that this game is really just amazing. The fact that the writing is pretty much exactly the same and feels like a proper direct sequel. It feels like it came out right after the original, and it does in fact pick up off where the actual DS in between game called the Rhombus of Ruin finishes, and immediately Raz is back in the psychic summer camp, or rather now he's actually a agent of the psychic academy, and he has basically moved up the ranks. And so this story is kind of about Raz becoming more independent, more reasonable, dealing with authority figures, and also a lot of the backstory on Agent Crueler and all the other kind of top psychonauts, which is very interesting. And so in this game, it's pretty much the same kind of mission structure. You basically, instead of having the summer camp, you have kind of the academy grounds where you're working and with all the other, professionals and adults, and you find, little collectibles around the area, along with other kind of challenges and side quests and stuff like that. And very similar to the first game, you go into different instructors' minds, and you basically have more so to help them get over their indecisions or problems. You basically go through their mind, their mental state, collecting figments, emotional baggage, and all that stuff, and eventually fight the final boss, which snaps them out of their problem. So it's kind of like, the kid version or cartoon version of Inception, kind of, which is very funny. Just on, figments and emotional baggage, all that same stuff is still here. Raz obviously has a bunch of different and new abilities now, things that make him more mobile with his mental sphere. Now whenever you find every half brain, it'll increase your health. And of course, there are some returning elements like the Psy Blast, for example, and some new stuff as well, including probably my favorite one actually is very cool, which is called Fake Rasputin or something, where basically Rasputin is able to kind of clone himself, and by doing this, he kind of makes this fake paper version of himself, and that's used for, kind of these different kind of combat scenarios that can be used for it, but really most of them are used for puzzle solving and things like that, where someone has to stand on a switch and someone else goes somewhere else. What's also very funny is that it'll combine certain themes of a character, their most extreme personality traits. For example, the first level is the vice principal or principal of the school or the academy, who essentially has a very strict, rigorous temperament, and is has a medical background, but at the same time she also has a gambling addiction. And so these two different ideas actually combine in the levels, and you get basically this casino where you can gamble your health away. And it's very funny. I should have mentioned in my previous review in the original Psychonauts, the most messed up level I think I've ever played in video game history, besides something like Silent Hill, is the final level of Psychonauts, which is the Meat Circus. It is just the most weird, strange, abysmal, and cursed levels I've ever played. This kind of, happy, funny, jovial thing based around, human flesh. It's a very messed up level and still keeps its cartoony essence while doing it, but the very idea of it is a very weird thing. Another really fun level in this game is a giant cooking show where basically you have to go around this map in order to defeat the boss. You have to basically serve up different dishes by doing different series of mini games with a time limit and serving it up. There's just a lot of very creative, good, funny stuff in this game that I absolutely love. And again, there's just so much creativity in how the game is portrayed and presented, and it's just an absolute joy to play. There are also definitely some returning characters. Raz's family actually makes a huge appearance in this game, and they actually have a little story element too. So while in the first game you just kind of met Raz's father, now the whole family actually shows up to this academy, and they actually become part of the story. So this game does a lot of stuff that I really didn't expect. We went really kind of outside the scope of, you know, what I was looking for, and it did a lot of things really, really well. That being said, I think probably one of my favorite characters is probably the mailman who works in the mailroom, who basically he loses his mind at one point, and he's just mindlessly letting the compressor just smash on his head over and over again. Man, I don't know, this game, it's just so well done, so well made, and so well written too. It's an absolute joy to play, and just a lot of fun. There's one level that's kind of like a giant theater and opera house. There's one level I think that really stands out for this game that makes it pretty iconic is the psychedelic level. And so you have this one guy who's kind of hippie musician. And so when you go into his level, there's these giant green eyeballs in the sky and everything's very groovy and psychedelic. And the music in that level is also very iconic. You really felt like you were really in a unique, special place, and it felt like a lot of fun. It was really good feeling. Different in this game is you can really start upgrading a lot of your powers to do more damage or different effects. For example, your Psy Blast will set enemies on fire, or you'll have different sub effects, or different durations of effects. Again, what also surprised me about this game is the actual length of it. It seemed to be actually fairly long for what I expected, and it really gave us a lot of content. Another difficulty that Raz encounters is not only the past of what Agent Crueler did and who his kind of real identity is, but also there's this new threat of Maligula, who is apparently this old Psychonaut, or this old threat that the Psychonauts took out, who was essentially this psychic who threatened to flood the world, basically, and a giant Diluvian-esque flood. And so you kind of have to discover the story of Maligula's real identity, what she wants, and what's going to happen. Raz also needs to earn the respect of these new classmates of his that have to basically deal with the competition of, being popular, being recognized, the fact that Raz was able to do all this really amazing stuff in the first game and now trying to get notoriety for it and no one really believes him. You still have old characters like Dolan and Lily, but you also have some new characters, of which my favorite one was Sam. Sam is incredibly funny. She's this girl who ends up working in this, restaurant / pancake shop outside of the academy, where she gets all the forest animals to work with her, almost kind of like Snow White, but more like slave labor, where she almost abuses a lot of them and forces them to kind of do her work for her, and mistreats the animals almost in a borderline condition, and is super bossy. And she's just out there making pancakes all day. I don't know. I love the characters and the writing in this game. There's really nothing like it that has a real charm to it, and it's really wonderful to experience that. Again, I'm always a huge fan of psychological, manifestations and interpretations of psychology in visual form, and this game is everything like that. And so the amount of weird, crazy things you see, the amount of jokes and visual representations of people's guilt or other things are very comical and very entertaining as well. And Raz himself is a great character, and he's an absolute joy to be around. Again, this game does everything right. It's an action-adventure platformer with, a decent story, decent characters, decent writing, decent gameplay. It does everything right, and so if you enjoy what you see, I definitely give it a chance. It's definitely one of the better written and better made Western games out there in terms of action-adventure. Anyway, guys, that's all of the praise I have to give for this game. I'm so happy this is here. I don't know if we'll ever get a Psychonauts 3, but I'm very excited to see it if we do. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.